is Kat McCrico, the Public Relations Officer for Toastmasters International in the greater St. Louis area. I would like to introduce to you Thomas Walker, who's going to present a speech about his passion for Toastmasters and especially for his club primary conversations. At the end of his speech, he's going to introduce his fellow Toastmasters of his club to come forward to personally invite you to attend one of their Toastmaster meetings. So please help me welcome Thomas Walker, Enjoying Primary Conversations. Thomas, you have the floor.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, I begin tonight with an anonymous quote. Anyone who talks all the time is lying. It doesn't take that long to tell the truth. Those words resonated in my head after being a luncheon speaker a few years ago. Now, as I walked off that stage and into obscurity, I realized I was all over the place on that speech. Now, first of all, one caveat. Don't think I was asked to be a luncheon speaker. The actual speaker did not show up. He was from Minneapolis. His plane got snowed in. I was one of the organizational officers, and at the time, I guess you could say resident flunky. So I was asked to do the luncheon speech, juxtaposed to the keynote speech that evening, which would be more dynamic. They were just looking for a filler. But I walked away from that experience extremely humbled, despite the fact that the topic matter I was speaking on I was very passionate about, which was public education. I was also a recent transplant to St. Louis. So I decided to kill one bird with two stones. And the first of those stones was social media. Whether you believe it or not, I am a natural introvert. So social media seems safe. And I'm floating out there in the Netherlands, and I see this neat little meetup. If you're not familiar with meetup, show up from our president, Toastmaster Jones. And I said, let me try this out. I'm also a big fan of historically black colleges and universities, so the fact that the meetings were held at Harris Stowe piqued my curiosity. I said, I'll get a chance to go to campus. Before I knew it, I'd gone to one meeting, two meetings. Now, by the third meeting, you must know they're going to put the pressure on. But I really, really enjoyed it. And more than anything, I began learning things. And so I've been a member of Primary Conversations now for approximately a year and a half. And the high points of my month, and this is no reflection on the excitement in my life, the high points of my month are the second and fourth Tuesday evening of every month when I get to join my colleagues at Primary Conversations. And there are three things that as I look back that I've gotten from it. First, the value of a mentor. I have had a great mentor who was having her own challenges when I joined the club. As you well know, Toastmaster Marinica Somerville was also expecting a child. And simultaneously, I would still get these emails from her. And I said, this woman is serious. And I get these emails, Thomas, do you need any help? And as she got closer to the time of the birth, even if she couldn't make it to the meetings, if she saw I was on the agenda, I would get phone messages. Thomas, is there any way I can help you? I know I can't come. And I began to see that, it wasn't something she got paid to do. It was something she took great sincerity and interest in doing. And then I've had other mentors amongst that. Toastmaster Allen, who, amidst some confusion I had, took time out of his day to meet me for lunch. And of course, as we all know Toastmaster Allen, he reminded me to bring my manual with me. So I've had great mentors and continue to enjoy the mentorship of all of the members of Primary Conversation. 2, friendly competition, something else I benefit from. I am competitive. I like to win at everything. But I focus on the word friendly because unlike some pickup basketball games that I've participated in where that competitiveness has almost led people to be involved in altercations, this is a different type of friendliness, a healthy friendliness, a healthy competition, where I do get to go back and review after playing a role in the meeting. Did I perform up to the leadership level that is expected? Not only of a Toastmaster, but a member of Primary Conversations Toastmasters. Secondly, that competition has helped me with my speaking. And albeit some have suggested that I've had lots of public speaking experience, I actually haven't. I've been fortunate enough to have to lead a lot of people in my professional capacity. But I never have thought strategically about how to talk, how to communicate, and how to impact with brevity, how not to say too much. Because I think there is some truth in my early quote, and so I'm naturally suspicious of people that talk for long periods of time. And then third benefit that I've gotten from Primary Conversations are the new friendships. We have great camaraderie in our club. And as I mentioned to you earlier, I am a transplant. And St. Louis is a great city, but it is a challenging city to navigate. Many relationships here began in high school. And because I cannot adequately respond to the question, where did you go to school? Then I'm sort of an outlier in statistical terms. So in thinking about that, that is another reason that when I show up here on every Tuesday, and second Tuesday, and fourth Tuesday of the month, not only do I have mentors, but I also have good competition. And most importantly, and something that is never in the literature of the Toastmasters, but maybe one of the biggest benefits, are the great friendships that I've developed in my time in the Toastmasters. And look at me, I've only been a member a year and a half. Think how I will feel in 2 more years, and when I've convinced Toastmaster Robin to make another red velvet cake. How much more of a bond I will have for our Toastmasters. That being said, I've learned to listen in Toastmasters, I can learn in Toastmasters, and I can laugh in Toastmasters. And that just about describes the joy of living. And if we think about it, the things that are most enjoyable, and as adults, we can only catch glimpses of joy. Those things can be encapsulated in a Toastmasters meeting. And I've certainly enjoyed those things in a Primary Conversation Toastmasters meeting. So at this time, I would like to invite my fellow Toastmasters from Primary Conversations to join me.
Ray, I think this is a great time for you to share with us why you started Primary Conversations and what you get out of it.
Thank you, Arnita. First of all, I'm one of 28 charter members of Primary Conversations. Primary Conversations started 4 years ago, and I'm passionate and excited about the things that we do at Primary Conversations because we've created a warm, accepting opportunity for members to come to our meetings and really stretch themselves and really push to become better speakers and better leaders. I'm also excited about the progress that I've